Hello community! This is an Easter egg. What I'm going to show you is we verbally tell GPT-4 that we need a fine-tuned LLM on any specific topic, and we get it. Done. This is the content of this video. How we do it? I give you the code for the execution in a Colab notebook, and what you need is your credit card, because we gonna fine-tune Chat GPT on this particular task. And you might say, hey, if this code is open source, maybe there is a better solution. Okay, I give you the Jupyter Notebook to fine-tune here the free open source Llama 2 model also. Yes, I told you, it is an Easter egg for you. Because if you click on this boring title, you deserve better. So what do we do? I say, hey, I need a model that takes in a puzzle-like reasoning heavy question in English and responds with a well-reasoned, step-by-step explanation in Spanish. Do this. Create this fine-tuned LLM for me. Or I might say, hey, I want that you fine-tune a Llama 2 model or a Chat GPT model for me. You go to the internet, you collect the latest scientific data on Jupiter satellite Ganymede, the magnetic field, the temperature, the pressure, the dynamic in the atmosphere, and you write a short science fiction story on a team on adventures on this satellite Ganymede. Done. This fine-tuned LLM is created. You want to see it? Well, of course. So what we do, we need GPT-4 for a particular task, I will show you in a second, and then we fine-tune Chat GPT. We will use Chat GPT 3.5 Turbo 01613 on this dataset that was created by GPT-4. And yes, you guessed it. So we have an interplay of GPT-4 and the fine-tuning of Chat GPT. Or if you prefer, the fine-tuning of Llama 2. So let's do this. Let's see the code. For you just have one sentence, and the output is a completely fine-tuned Chat GPT system. And I mean really a fine-tuned system. Not just an ICL optimized system. No, every weight of Chat GPT has been optimized given the fine-tuning dataset that will be created for your specific task by GPT-4. Let's do this. So this is here our Jupyter Colab notebook, and the author is Matt Shumer. He is the brain behind this, and I will give you here also the link to his Twitter account. So let's do this. At first, we need to tell here any system, like take Chat GPT or GPT-4, what we need. And here's exactly what I told you. Hey, I need a model that takes in a puzzle-like reasoning heavy question in English and responds by step-by-step thought-out response in Spanish. You can set the temperature to be creative or to be more fact-based, and a number of examples of our dataset that we need. So let's do this. At first, you need, of course, your API key if we apply GPT-4 for the dataset creation. And how we do this? Well, easy. We have here our system message for GPT-4. So we say, hey, roll, this is the system command. Now, wait a little bit. I need that you can see this completely. Oh, great. Okay, so let's do this. So we tell the system, hey, you are generating data as GPT-4, which will be used to train a machine learning model. You will be given a high-level description of the model that we want to use, that we want to fine-tune. And from that, you will generate data samples. So you will generate the fine-tuning dataset, each with the prompt response pair. You will do this in this format. And now we define here the prompt goes here, and the response goes here. The format, we have a defined format. This is important. We have standardized here our data format. And then we go on with the system prompt. Only one prompt response pair should be generated per turn. So, since you remember, we want here a reasoning heavy questioning in English. You know, like this, hey, if the first train leaves London at 8:30 p.m. and the second train leaves, I don't know, Burberry at 6 p.m. and the first train travels at 12 miles per hour and the second train travels at 16 miles per hour, you know this. This is what we are talking about. So this is created, and for each turn, make the example slightly more complex than the last example. So we increase the complexity while ensuring diversity. Make sure that the samples are unique and diverse, yet high quality and complex enough to train here a well-performing model. So we give here, or GPT-4 creates here a data set with an instruction and, if you want, the solution. So GPT-4 learns here data and creates the data that we need then for fine-tuning Chat GPT. So this is it. Our examples go to existence. And of course, here we have chat completion create. Now we create here our data, if you want. So we choose here the model GPT-4 because this is the best model if you have reasoning heavy task. If you want to go with an open source, please insert here your open source model, but be aware it might not be that brilliant and intelligent in its response. And then we have our data set. Beautiful. Then we have our examples generated. So now we have our fine-tuning data set created by GPT-4. Now we say, okay, now we want to do this. And we have now chat completion create. Our model is again GPT-4. We have now to generate a system message. So let's have a look at this. We say, hey, GPT-4 system command. You will be given a high-level description of the model we are training, and from that, you will generate a simple system prompt for that model to use. And we specify, hey, remember, you are not generating the system messages for the data generation. You are generating the system messages to use for inference. A good format, you remember, we always have to define a compatible format, is to follow here, given input data, you will what the model should do. Make it as concise as possible, include nothing but the system prompt in your response. For example, never write this, but go with this format. Beautiful. So you have consistent format handling. So if you have this, you define the temperature, you define the max tokens, yes, yes, yes. And then put our examples in a data frame and turn them into the final pair of our data set. So let's do this. We have here a Panda data frame. Pandas as, yes, you know this, you put this in a Panda data frame. And we have then here our successfully generated examples. Beautiful. Now we upload here our training dataset file to OpenAI. OpenAI file create, and we upload here our JSON long file. Beautiful. The purpose is to fine-tune now, the Chat GPT model that we can now do since some days. So it's brand new, this thing. So say, let's fine-tune the model. You may need to wait a few minutes before running the text cell. I'll process the OpenAPI service. So we say OpenAI, fine-tuning job. You remember, this is where your credit card comes in if you use OpenAI. Create. We have the training file and we have the model. And we go here with our Chat GPT model, our GPT 3.5 Turbo model. And today, now, for the first time on this channel, yeah, this is the command that you can fine-tune Chat GPT. Amazing! Finally, we can do it. So, run this cell every 20 minutes or so. You will see a message, fine-tuning model created. Yes, yes, yes. And once you see that message, you can go to the OpenAI playground or keep going to the next cell and use the API to try out the model. We have now a fine-tuned LLM. Isn't that great? So, and once our model is trained, fine-tuned on our GPT-4 generated dataset, we grab now the model fine-tuned name and we try it out. So what we say? We say, hey, system, you have the system message, the role of the user is clear, and the content are our prompts. And as I showed you, for example, the prompt is here, a model that takes in a puzzle like reasoning heavy question in English and response, here step-by-step sort out response in Spanish. The temperature is between fact-based and be really creative. The number of examples is about 100. This will take some time. Here the author writes, yeah, from 10 minutes to a couple of hours. So remember, your credit card with OpenAI, yes, you better have here a credit card that says, yippee, I'm okay, I'm prepared for the job. And after the model is trained, you use his here to run here the inference cell on the Llama 2 version, or let's try it out cell on the GPT 3.5, the Chat GPT version. This is it. This is all there is to it. Follow the link here in the description of my video, and you got here by Matt Shumer here this beautiful GPT LLM-Trainer version 2 with GPT 3.5 fine-tuning. And if you want here, instead of the fine-tuning of our Chat GPT, and you want to have the fine-tuning here of Llama 2, I will leave you the link to this notebook by Matt Shumer. Congrats to Matt Shumer for making this code available, also in the description of this video. So this was a little Easter egg for my subscriber who click on this boring YouTube titles that have not amazing cover art, but are just informative. And today you deserve to receive here some very interesting code I discovered. And I think you should know it, you should experience it, you should play with it, and maybe you can even use it in your professional career. Would be great to see you in my next video.